See, to act, your mind, it is like a gun. And you want to load it up with little itty bitty bullets of knowledge.
What's going on, family? It's your guy Boro, the Lucky Libra, and thank you for tuning into another episode. Alright, as you can see, we're getting into this new moon in Aquarius energy. Understanding we about to understand how we about to get our fruits of our labor from all this goddamn transformation we've been dealing with this Aquarius stellium. Alright, it's been influencing us in all different types of ways, but we've all been under the influence of having to deal with heavy Aquarius energy in some type of shape or form, with all these planets beaming these lights off. So first of all, make sure y'all check into the website to connect with the Lucky Libra, and make sure y'all tap into the Patreon where I'm getting into more exclusive content, you know, more deeper synastry, celebrity breakdowns, monthly classes, and more. Alright, so we on the road to 100, trying to see how quick we could get there. So when we look at the new moon in Aquarius, first of all, we've been experiencing a lot of transformation within how we're able to cultivate our individuality, be more original, alright, be able to think differently from others, being able to cement and make our thoughts more concrete under this Aquarius sun, under this Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, under this Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, under this Venus transiting Aquarius. In all my past readings, weekly readings, you've seen I've been, talking about the build-up with this energy. And with Aquarius being fixed air, ruled by Saturn, co-ruled by Uranus, it beams off the energy of being able to have a fixed way of thinking from others and a different way from thinking from others. So we've just, depending on where Aquarius been at, is at in your chart, is the area of life that you've been focused on how you're gonna do this. Whether it's universe working through different people, places, and things to help influence you to think and feel differently, act on things differently, express your individuality, work on that thing that's individual to you or whatnot, individual drive, gene, pursuit or whatnot. How are you able to construct something in real life time and be able to communicate that? And why do I have to keep dealing with reality, building, structuring? Because it's still Saturn energy. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, but it's air, so it's how we communicate that, how we're able to relate that to the collective, how it plays a part in the collective. And then we have Uranus that deals with the innovativeness. Alright, I don't even know if that's a motherfucking word, but that shit kind of rolled off my tongue kind of smooth. Innovativeness, alright, but it deals with originality, being innovative, your uniqueness. Alright, and we gotta fight for that. Whenever you push out your individuality, you gotta fight for that, because sometimes it's gonna be opposing and rebellious to what you're opposing, what you're being individual towards. Alright, so we've been dealing with a lot of these situations, seeing how we've been inflicting our individuality, expressing and having that respected in our relationships, in our associations, within our career fields, you know, within our home life, in all different type of ways depending where Aquarius has been at in your chart. So now with the new moon sliding in here, we know the new moon is about new beginnings, is a new cycle, is a new phase. The moon governs the emotion of the world. The moon is the heart chakra of this solar system. So all our vibrations get channeled through where the moon is transiting. And whenever the moon is transiting a sign, this is the energy we want to be reacting and responding to. The moon transiting a Saturn rule sign, make sure you're doing something with some responsibilities, finances, money. Alright, try to ride that wave, ride that Saturn wave. We've been having to ride a Saturn wave coming into 2021. We've been having to ride a Saturn wave. Alright, now this is my type of wave. This is my type of wave. Okay, so you got to learn to find the positive and negatives to every energy, every planet, every sign. Alright, malefic or not, it don't matter. Okay, every planet has its energies that is influencing you to help you evolve. Now, when we deal with all these heavy Aquarius energies, When we look at the new moon, it's helping us cultivate all these experiences, all the wisdom, all the restrictions and boundaries, all the forms of communication we've been exercising, our relationships, our experience that's been being built from our relationships. We're being able to cultivate all of that and build a new foundation off that shit right now with the new moon transiting here. All right. Once again, new moon, new intentions, new opportunities. All right. New approaches to things. And if you don't feel like you're in a space to get up, to be aligned, to have new approaches to things, you want to make sure you clear your space as much as possible. And what does clear your space mean? Look at what people, places, and things that you too connected to. Because if you got too much people, places, and things that's not aligning with what intentions you're trying to set, that's only going to play out as your space being clogged up, blockages, all right, more frustration trying to do what you're trying to do. So you always want to be as open and clear as possible when we're talking about new moons. So this is what the new moon is bringing. The moon is always going to deal with reacting and responding, and we're going to be in a state of having a lot of emotion reacting, because once again the moon is coming in contact with a whole bunch of planets right now, all 5 planets in Aquarius. So we're in a state of not only reacting to all of these planets, but reacting to the accumulation these past couple of weeks that these planets have been influencing us, especially with Mercury being retrograde and certain things, and us having time for certain things to come back to us, and us being in a revision state right now. The moon is helping us react to all of these things to help cultivate what is it that's going to give us a direction to deal with our originality, our individuality. We need to use this energy to find that. If you feel like you've been struggling with that, we in beautiful times. Fuck what's going on outside. When you look within, you're going to be able to find that during these times. So this is what we're going to try to understand with the moon transiting the houses. Alright, so let's get right into it with my Aquarius risings. So when we look at that first house, I call this new personal discipline. When we look at the first house, we know this is the personal house. We know the first house deals with how you deal with people, places, and things on a personal level. Alright, how you start and initiate things on a personal level. How your personal outlook on the world. How people perceive you personally. So the first house also has a lot to do with how you start and initiate things. When we got all these energies transiting your first house, it's been a lot of personal transformation. The way you personally perceive things has been going through a transformation. The way you've been personally perceiving what you're personally working on, with Saturn being that first house lord, being the first, your chart ruler, Aquarius risings. Y'all know y'all always personally working on something, trying to personally construct something in your life. And y'all been looking in the mirror, really sizing up a lot of y'all. Damn, is this the way I want to continue working on it? Is this the most innovative way to go about this? Can I pull out more of an original substance out of me personally? A lot of y'all been in that type of state and been going through a lot of transformations within your personal life to be able to get closer to a lot of these answers, signs, and influences. This is why a lot of y'all been dealing with a lot of isolation and been real detached in y'all personal life, because y'all been feeling like y'all need more space to connect to these things personally. So I call this new personal discipline because with all the transformation y'all been going through in y'all personal life, a lot of y'all are holding gems right now, and you have to understand, y'all holding gems, aka things that y'all experienced, wisdom that you experienced, new ways of looking at how you could personally express yourself and attack the things that you personally working on. And you guys are understanding a lot of these things are going to be more time that you got to put into it, more work you got to put into it. So there's a new personal discipline that's being developed within your character right now. So with this new moon transiting here leading into the weekend, y'all want to understand that these got to be your principles to stand on. And it's going to help you to cultivate what you're working on personally and how you deal with all people, places, and things in your personal life. Alright, Aquarius risings. Now we got Cap risings. Redefined values. The second house deal with your value system. People, places, and things that you value. The value you feel like you have to offer to the world. So what you feel like you have, your talents, your traits, what you're good at. Your forms of a support system. Alright? Your forms of physical security. This is what we're dealing with when we're looking at the second house. With all these energies, with Aquarius and all these energies transiting that second house, you've been getting real detached from a lot of people, places, and things that you valued. Been analyzing, observing these things from a different point of view. Been seeing the reality of what is it that you value. Because a lot of the time, things that fall into the second house can end up being things that we connect to for a material or physical level. Second house deal with material possessions. So when we have all these energies in the second house, you've been sizing up all your material possessions, your forms of income. It's been a lot of transformation within career. For a lot of y'all. Might be some power and control issues within career for a lot of y'all. Trying to gain some more authority in this area. So now with the moon transiting here for my Capricorn Rising, you guys are moving with some redefined values. You guys are understanding that you got to put your values in the right places in order for these goals to grow. In order for you to connect to what is it that you're trying to build and the form of security you're trying to have. This is what all the transformations y'all going through. Y'all truly have been understanding how y'all been valuing the wrong people, places, and things. Or how y'all have to value these people with a certain conscious temperament. Alright? Understanding you can't pour into others all the time because you need to put some more time and more organization into what is it that you're truly trying to guard in that second house. Okay, so with this new moon here, it's going to be new ways to deal with all of these things. New ways to connect your values to others. Alright? So we want to embrace these opportunities and be open for that. Now when we look at my Sagittarius Rising, Aquarius in the third house, I call this utilizing what's familiar in a new way. So with these energies transiting the third house deal with our familiar friends, siblings, distant relatives, our local environment, familiar environment, local neighborhood we grew up in, our neighbors, what's going on in our community, and how we communicate. So all these energies transforming your third house, you've been dealing with some experiences that's transforming the way you relate to others, transforming how distant or connected you are to your siblings. Alright? There's been a lot of situations for you Sagittarius Rising that y'all may have tried to build or associate yourself or bring a business plan or something to your familiar friends and realize y'all couldn't build with them like that. Y'all been experiencing some of that in all type of relationships. Alright? So with this energy transiting the third house, you want to utilize the new wisdom that you have. You want to utilize the new perceptions that you have about how you can deal with communicating yourself, communicating with others, and make sure that's the foundation that you're utilizing moving on from this third house. So a lot of this energy is helping us to deal with making space for us to build what we're trying to work on. So with this third house, maybe some friends that's been soaking up some time. Once again, the third house is going to deal with people. It's going to deal with relationships. So this is what we want to focus on right here to open up these opportunities. There's maybe an energy where you're realizing things that need to be communicated more in situations that you're dealing with, whether it's work, career, personal relationships, because the third house deals with communication. So right now you're going through transformations, understanding how you could be more of an individual and have people respect that with the way that you communicate and relate to others, especially relating things that's familiar to you. If you're dealing with any situations, utilizing information that you know you've done picked up early back in the day, you're in the state of making sure that could provide some more of a foundation, whether it's business or how you utilize it within your relationships and who you associate it with. All right, so with this new moon moving here, new ways of utilizing what's familiar to you, new ways of dealing with how your relationships in your community, new ways. A lot of y'all may have been dealing with transformation, even feeling like you may want to expand in your familiar horizons. Maybe you want something new in your familiar horizons. All right, so that energy may have came out with some of the people that you're around. A lot of the time you may have realized, even though these people are familiar to me, we haven't built a certain bond that could go beyond building something for real in reality, besides what we just know each other for. And this is helping you to understand how to create space for more fruitful opportunities for you, what you Sag Risings are working on, what you guys are trying to build in this new reality. All right, so that's the third house. Fourth house, Scorpio Risings. I call this embracing new emotions. Alright, embracing new emotions. The fourth house deals with how we construct our emotional stability, how we feel about things, the people, places, and things that's closest to us, what we bring closest to us, our family matters, domestic issues, our home environment, how we deal with privacy, how we deal with solitude, or try to gain that to recollect our emotions. That's what this house is dealing with. So with Aquarius and all these energies transiting here, you've been realizing and gaining a more of a state of reality of what you let into your private space, the reality of of not just based off how these things feel, but understanding how these things play a part with your emotional stability. So it could be the person you're dating, it could be the job you're working. A lot of y'all right now in a state of like, nah, I need something new because this don't make me feel good. So it could come from another area of life, but when it falls into the fourth house, it deals with what makes you feel at home. Not just the family and domestic matters, domestic issues, but how we feel home within us, because the fourth house is the heart chakra. So things that's been making you feel uncomfortable, and once again, the moon, this is where the moon is home at. So the moon makes emotional stability a priority here. So it's a whole bunch of new realizations through all these transformations of your relationships, what you've been attached to, and you're understanding why universe been trying to get you to place more boundaries on these people, places, and things that don't make you necessarily feel good, even though the money good, make you feel good, even though the sex good, make you feel good, even though the relationship keep you secure. All these things you've been sizing up to understand how you make space for you to deal with your emotions in the right place. And with the new moon transiting here, this is going to be a state where you're going to be able to cultivate that. This is an energy where you're going to be able to pick up the influences of why universe wants you to be detached from certain people, places, and things to deal with the home environment. You guys have been going through a lot of transformation when it comes to how you deal with certain siblings, family members, maybe more serious debates or clashes maybe here with these energies transiting your fourth house. Not everybody, but having all these active energies here, regardless of what energies there is, a lot of energies in one place, in one space. So there's a lot going on. So it could be a lot going on within your siblings, your parents or whatnot, your family environment. And this energy leading up to this new moon is helping you understand this energy more. The moon helps us understand. All right. So definitely may have been a space where you've been able to recollect more in your solitude, and now you're understanding why solitude is so important for you to have the right state of mind to do what you need to do. All right. And a lot of you understand how much self-care is important. So this is what I want my Scorpio Rising to understand. Learn to embrace these new emotions, new ways to feel about these things. You don't always have to sink on to the feelings that you have about the people, places, and things you're already connected to. You can evolve and grow out, and you can evolve in the state of understanding the reality of what you emotionally connected to help you understand how to deal with being so emotionally connected to something. When you're just so lost in the water, in the vibe or something, sometimes it's not the easiest to see, to understand what waters you even swimming in at times. But you guys understanding the reality, what makes you feel comfortable and what doesn't. So this is really like a mental emotional reset for a lot of you guys. Okay. Now, moving into the fifth house, Libra Risings. I call this reaching new heights with self-expression. The fifth house deals with expression. It's a fire house, so we're dealing with expression, our self-identity. We're dealing with creative and artistic forms of expression. What we're trying to put on the stage to gain some light, what we want to shine a light on to the world. Anything that falls into the form of creation, forms of entertainment as well. When we look at the fifth house, you've been going through a lot of transformation when it comes to how you're dealing with your forms of creativity, how you express yourself to others, people telling you about how you express yourself, you understanding how you're seen to others some more with all these energies transiting your fifth house. You understanding what wisdom and creative attributes you have with all these energies transiting your fifth house. Understanding what wisdom you have to express when it comes to all these energies transiting your fifth house, Libra Risings. So y'all in the state of understanding how to, with the new moon transiting here, with the new moon transiting here, y'all in the state of trying to, of being influenced, how to cultivate this new form of creative expression, how to continue putting more light on this creative thing that you're working on, how to develop more creative ways to deal with how you connect to others. All right. So this may be a time where this energy leading up into the weekend that you can feel highly expressive. So you want to just make sure whatever it is that you're not letting your high forms of expression clash with somebody that's not being receptive of it. All right. But this is definitely an energy where y'all are realizing more of the different ways that can help your brand, your business, your relationship, what you're working on, by making sure you express yourself in a certain way, in a more direct way, more realistic way with others. Y'all definitely in the state of looking in the mirror and seeing how y'all need to be real with the way y'all express yourself with others right now. So maybe maybe some retrograde issues and situations coming back, dealing with situations you ain't express yourself the way you're supposed to express yourself. Now you blowing up on somebody. Now you letting off extra steam, because you should express yourself a certain way with others. The fifth house always going to deal with expression. Alright? So the new moon is helping you cultivate all these new ways to deal with your creativity. All these new ways to implement creativity into what you're doing. All new ways to deal with how you express yourself to others and how you allow yourself to be seen for what you want to be seen for. Alright? With that energy in the fifth house. So keep that in mind, Libra Risings. Now my Virgo Risings. Energy transit in the sixth house. Alright, new routine and regimen. New routine and regimen. So when we look at the sixth house deals with how we deal with scheduling, organizing, day-to-day routine, putting things in order, health, fitness, career, work, how we work on things. All these energies fall into the sixth house. So with Aquarius in this house, it's been a lot of y'all have been trying to get the fuck out of where y'all working at right now. Y'all trying to detach from some of the same mundane routines you may have been dealing with. Maybe the same you've been dealing with some associations, haven't been respecting what you bring to the table, and you've been putting time and time into it, and over all this time and time has been helping you understand how you could start devising your own ways to routine certain things. With all this energy transiting y'all sixth house, a lot of y'all not only are going through transformations within the workplace, maybe how you're dealing with more power and control issues in the workplace, how your individuality is being established in the workplace, and also when it comes to things that you're working on, alright, is a whole new influence on how you can execute these things. So if y'all are in them situations where y'all don't want to be where y'all working at, where y'all want newness in your work environment, or you want to really get devoted to what it is that you want to put into a new form of routine or whatnot, you've been through the experiences these past couple of weeks, let alone 2021, to help you understand how you could transition into these things, how you have to start working on these things first for it to build some substance, because this is an earth house now. So we're dealing with reality, we're dealing with what's being real, but you've been gaining a lot of reality of how you're able to put things into reality. You've been looking at these things regardless of what's been relationships been clogging up your time, or how you schedule and organize things. You've been wanting more isolation to be able to understand how you could put things in order with all these energies transiting in this house. And now you have a whole bunch of new wisdom on how you could go about your approach with what you're gonna work on, how you deal with the workplace right now. Okay. Yeah, a lot of y'all may have been manifesting a lot of Virgo risings. Y'all can manifest some black sheep energy in the workplace a lot of the times. Personally critiquing, personally very critical of others, holding others up to a high standard. And then when we got Aquarius in this house, it's like you pinpointed and direct. And you real original with some of the ways that you may go about how you work on things, and influence others to be different with the way they work on things. So there's a huge influence to want to be original and work on something original right now. Show others how to be individual with what they're working on, or show others how to put more effort into working on things that's individual about them. And that influence is coming out through how you understand what's being built through some form of routine and scheduling with this energy. So with the new moon here is new influences for routine and regimen. New influences for whether it's hitting the gym, what you about to eat, your diet. New influences about understanding how your relationships affect your schedule and routine. A lot of y'all understanding like, yeah, I've been wanting to get my routine together. Universe has been sending a bunch of signs about routine, but I allow a lot of my relationships and who I be connecting with to fuck up what I'm trying to schedule and put into order on a consistent basis. So this is a time to gain more of an understanding of why that's critical. So that's for my Virgo risings. Now my Leo rising, 7th house. New ways to connect with others. New ways to connect with others. Y'all been going through all the 7th house deal with how you connect to others on a one-on-one level, how you deal with relationships, how you deal with the external environment, how you take your personality and let it play a part in the external environment and your intimate one-on-one relationships. So when we got all these energies transiting y'all 7th house, y'all been going through all type of transformation with y'all relationships. Y'all been attracting and detaching from a whole bunch of people from the external realm. A lot of people, y'all been dealing with a lot of energies, people showing their true colors. You Leo risings. Leo risings, y'all been dealing with a lot of energies with people showing their true colors to y'all. And it's making you, a lot of y'all feeling like y'all have to be real detached. Leo risings, a lot of y'all feeling like y'all have to be real secluded. Because it could definitely be this type of energy where y'all feel like, damn, who's there for me? Who's there for me when I need somebody? I'll be there for a lot of people. A lot of Leo risings dealing with a lot of that energy transiting, all these energies transiting the 7th house. Because depending on how you may want to be connected and reach out to certain relationships, with all this individual energy opposite from your personality, a lot of these things may have been getting rejected, people not being receptive, other things you want to personally express and connect to others. So this could play out a lot of isolated energies as well personally, but this is a state of helping you understand that the things you trying to do in life personally, you don't need a whole bunch of people involved. Leo, you the personal light. You need to spark that light and get it popping and continue to get it popping. And I feel like you got to have so much people involved. And a lot of y'all with this new moon energy, even leading up to this new moon energy, is understanding that. A lot of you understanding that, you know, like I said, a lot of Leo rising, y'all could attract people just wanting to be around y'all personally because y'all get the personal light. So it's like this energy has been helping y'all gain way more reality of your relationships. Way more reality of your relationships. Especially with y'all having Saturn up in this mug for the next couple of years or whatnot. Alright, because Saturn love to be here. So it's going to help put all your relationships and how you structure, how you deal with other people in order. Alright. So yeah, Leo rising, that's what's going on. All these experiences with your relationships is helping you understand why you need more space to do what you want to do. Okay? Sometimes Leo risings, y'all could try to shine the light on others a lot of the times, and that should not recede with Aquarius in the 7th house, and it makes you realize you got to be more realistic with how you deal with others, and it's not always how you see things, and it's not always how you feel about things. And a lot of y'all understanding that right now. So the new moon is helping y'all to gain more clarity, more understanding, help you to connect more. What is it that you want to bring into the collective personally, helping you deal with how you're able to connect to people that you're in relationships with, the people that you do want to continue to build a bond with. If these even if these relationships have been rocky, okay, but for the most part, a lot of individuality has been influenced through how you've been connecting with others and how others have been receptive or non-receptive of the things that you're into and how you personally see and feel about things. So it's a whole new influence with how you're dealing with others. A whole new influence with how you connect to others right now. Yeah, a lot of y'all may have been breaking up in relationships right now. With all these energies in 7th house, a lot of y'all may have been breaking up in relationships, or a lot of y'all been really finding ways to agree to disagree because Venus came up in here. So with Venus up in the 7th house, Venus wants to support connecting to others on a one-on-one level. But when Venus come in the 7th house, if it don't feel the balance in the relationship, this could be the time where it starts feeling like, all right, I need to be in a space where I can connect. I can find balance in the relationship. So there's been a lot of transformation overall with the relationships for y'all Leo risings. Okay? But that's what we want to keep in mind with the new moon. So a new cycle, a new fruitful time to be able to connect to others on a one-on-one level from a balanced state, from the relationships that you value, and being able to open up relationships for people that's in line with what you personally into, okay? Now, 8th house, my Cancer risings, new motives and emotional clarity. The 8th house deals with everything behind the scenes, our secrets, our deep emotions, our deep passions and desires. No light in this house. You gotta feel your way out. Okay, so it's gonna be a little scary, some monsters. There's gonna be some people trying to guide you. So now we're dealing with occult knowledge and wisdom because our eyes is closed. We can't see, but people are helping us how to feel, helping us deal with our internal energies to guide us, direct us. All right, so this 8th house is dealing with your deep intentions, all right, your deep motives. And when we look at the 8th house, you've been going through a lot of transformations with things that concern your deep desires and your deep passions. All different type of ways to see how you can mold these things. And maybe some things that you guys had deep desires for, and maybe some things that you guys were passionate about, and now in 2021 you looking at it trying to see how you can have a more of a unique, more of an original way to deal with these things, as passionate as you are about it. With all these energies transiting the 8th house, you know, a lot of y'all may have been in situations dealing with a lot of hidden agendas in the past couple of weeks, in 2021, for real. This is the first new moon of 2021, so y'all definitely been probably dealing with a lot of them situations, okay? And that's been influencing you. Like, y'all been dealing with a lot of energies that's influencing you what to keep to yourself. Cause you got Aquarius, when you got air up in that 8th house, Aquarius air at that 8th house deal with your deep passion, deep desires, your deep motivation, and also deal with shared values, the resource of others. So with Aquarius here, you can be influenced to, you guys can be manipulative at times with the ways that y'all go about feeling like associating yourself with people just for a deep desire. All right, so y'all gotta be careful with them influences, because you could be riding positive and negative spectrums of it, being in a low vibrational energy trying to get around others just to get what you need, or being in a positive frequency vibration by understanding how you can correlate what your passions are with other people's passions on, and being able to build. So that lets you know those are the two vibrations, not to just call y'all manipulated, but I'm telling y'all the two vibrations that come with Aquarius in that 8th house. So y'all in the state right now of understanding how y'all can associate y'all passions with others in order to build something, and what relationships that you can't associate with them because you realizing it's unrealistic. This person don't got the same passions, the same desire, the same drive or ambition as me for this certain goal or whatnot. A lot of creativity in that 8th house and our water houses, period. So now this is a whole new time to deal with these things. But definitely have been going through some transformations lately. Maybe dealing with if you're part of any associations, working with people on certain things, you know, going through certain power and controls in these areas, because maybe you're real passionate about, you know, the result of what y'all working on. This is also another energy where y'all been also seeing the true colors. A lot of people for real in this 8th house, and y'all may have played out a lot of energies expressing some extreme emotion on others the past couple of weeks as well. So through all these deep 8th house, deep and dark experience with your deep passions, motives, that intense fire that you got burning within you. Even though this is a water house, this house that gave birth to Scorpio, so we're dealing with that Mars-Pluto energy. You know, with all these energy, the new moon coming in this house, the new moon is uncomfortable in this house. The new moon is uncomfortable in this house. So, you know, when the new moon get in this house, it's like it wants to stimulate its deep passions or whatnot. But once again, it's hard to bring all this heavy emotion, heavy vibration up to the surface at times, or connect it at times. It can feel vulnerable. So this is a time where you're understanding how to become more comfortable with your being more original and innovative with how you deal with your deep passions and desires. A lot of y'all right now with this new moon energy is helping y'all to understand that even though that you're whatever you may be working on, or what you're creatively into, or the deep passions and desires that you have, y'all understand that even though y'all may be emotionally connected to it, you have to learn to deal with the vulnerability of expressing that, associating it with others, you know, being able to put yourself in a space where you align with people that have the same passions as you right now. So there's been a lot of detachment with the people you deal with in that space, because it's been feeling like I got all this passion and all these energies stimulating my passion, my goals, my desires, and I'm seeing who could really play a part with these energies. So you want to make sure with this energy moving on to the weekend, you're conscious about how you give off any steam or emotion to others with things dealing with frustration, maybe with any passions that you're working on at the moment, you know. And because the moon gonna bring emotion, it's gonna bring a vibe, it's gonna bring some emotion, it's gonna tackle the heart chakra in some type of way with the moon transiting or whatever houses is transiting in that area. We're gonna feel in that area, and it's already uncomfortable here in the 8th, but it's gonna be some passion here. It's gonna be stimulating that been getting stimulated for you past couple of weeks for you Cancer risings, and y'all just been trying to understand more how to associate this. The new moon gonna help you to understand. The new moon gonna bring some opportunities to help you understand how to make space for people who align with your passions. Okay. Now, the 9th house, Gemini risings. This is new philosophies and morals. Okay, the 9th house dealing with this, the house of education, the house of enlightenment, dealing with knowledge and wisdom, dealing with how we learn from our experiences, dealing with the teacher and the student, dealing with foreign land, foreign culture, adventure, all right, expansion. So when we look at all these energies in with Aquarius transit in the 9th house, a lot of y'all perspectives of how y'all perceive y'all experiences and how y'all feel like y'all could use the wisdom that y'all have, a lot of that been going through a lot of transformations. So it's been a lot of different forms of your creativity or things that you've picked up, because the 9th house deals with experiences. So the things that you've learned from your experiences is a bunch of new ways to feel like you can use these things. Because with Aquarius and Saturn in that 9th house, you're trying to see how you can utilize your creativity, utilize your knowledge and wisdom to make it concrete, to make it be the foundation of a business or something you structure, or how you deal with reality. All right. And you know, people with Aquarius up in here, you Gemini rising, y'all can have some real strong morals with certain things, all right, that y'all don't bend with Aquarius up in that 9th house. Real serious morals, and y'all have a way of expressing these things. However, with all these energies in the 9th house, a lot of transformations with how y'all perceive things from y'all spiritual path, from y'all experiences. A lot of new things y'all feel like y'all need to experience. This transit, all these energies transit in the 9th house, has definitely been making y'all wanna, especially with Jupiter up in here, y'all definitely been wanting to feel the need to expand or travel, or have been doing that. And with Jupiter transit here, the floodgates for that are opening up. Especially if Jupiter just got up in here. If you somebody that's been dealing with restriction, traveling with Aquarius and Saturn being a house lord, understand with Jupiter coming in here, that's opening it up. The floodgates opening up. Embrace them opportunities. So with the new moon transit here, it's about to bring an influence for you guys to take all your knowledge and wisdom, period, and see where that applies in your new reality. Y'all gonna be in a state of feeling like y'all haven't been expressive, because this is a fire house. So y'all gonna be in a state of seeing if y'all was expressive of the things that y'all know. A lot of that is on your mind. Why don't I express this in my career, express this in my relationship, express this, you know, on social media, or how I connect to others? When I have this knowledge and wisdom, this is shit I'm experiencing, how do I utilize that? Once again, y'all influence to use and build in this house, and what y'all using and building and communicating to others is knowledge and wisdom. All right, so y'all have real different ways of doing these things, and the new moon is helping y'all to understand how to have different ways, new ways of communicating to others when it comes to what you know, when it comes to how to new ways to utilize your educational system, to utilize what credentials you have, and definitely opening up opportunities for you to expand some, whether it's your local surroundings, whether it's expanding, utilizing your knowledge and wisdom, what you know, creative attributes, all right, in order to communicate, touch some people you don't know. A lot of new influences on how to deal with these things, all right? Now, my Taurus risings, okay, this is the 10th house, and I call this new ways to develop social status or broadcast yourself. The 10th house is dealing with our social status. The 10th house is dealing with how we reap the fruits of labor from the work that we put in, our natural reputation, how we rise to a status, all right, how we build a foundation in our life from what we're known for, from how we're able to use our reputation for something. Okay, for some form of foundation. So with all these energies transiting your 10th house, these are the transformations y'all been dealing with. A whole bunch of transformations for my my Taurus risings. A whole bunch of transformations dealing with seeing what you can use to enhance how you broadcast and present yourself to the world. A whole bunch of new resources and new experiences and things transforming with your relationships and how you're looking at how you connect your personal life into the external realm. A whole bunch of new ways been experiences and things been transforming in the area like to help you understand, damn, this how people see me. This how I could use my reputation. If I attach myself to this or associate myself in this type of way, it could build what I'm working on. A lot of y'all been in this chance. It has definitely been transforming a lot career-wise. A lot of y'all been feeling like y'all need to take more authority and be more individual what you doing in career. So a lot of y'all been dealing with a lot of break-free energy dealing with career and work right now. And if you already started that journey, keep at it, because the new moon is just solidifying why you're doing it right now. Because the new moon here is helping you to embrace and connect, working on that social status. Embrace and connect, growing who it is you want to broadcast and present to the world. And that could come through forms of what we're doing in career. We could catch that influence of understanding that there's ceilings at where we're at, what we're doing career-wise, or our approach to these things. Okay, so the moon is bringing that influence to help you see how to cultivate all of that. Whether it's ups and downs in career, whether it's signals and signs the universe has been giving you to understand new ways to deal with broadcasting yourself to the world, new awarenesses y'all been catching about how people see. It's been a lot of y'all that's been universe been utilizing people, places, and things to help y'all understand that you may not be associating yourself with people that's helping you for what you want to do business-wise or whatnot. Okay? Or a lot of situations where y'all manifest people letting y'all understand how y'all been seen a certain way, dealing with certain people or doing a certain thing, because the 10th house deal with how you broadcast it. And with the sun and all these energies in here right now, there's a whole lot of influences helping you to pay attention to how you're broadcasting your social status, or what you could do to get to that social status that you are seeking, all right, that you desire within that 10th house energy. So with the new moon coming here, it's helping you cultivate all of that. Is a new way of feeling like how you can establish these things, whether it's forms of communication, social media, new business plans, new relationships, embracing new relationships, new business partners and whatnot. This is the energy y'all in right now. All right, y'all in the energy of doubling up on what you know, how you know people know you, and utilizing that to really build something for you in this new cycle. Now, my Aries Risings, we got new ways to associate yourself, Aries Risings. Okay, the 11th house deals with the unknown and unfamiliar. People we don't know, places we don't know and we haven't touched. All right, potential people and spaces that we can touch. All right, ideas that we can connect to, that's out of our reach, but we know that that's there, that's in our horizon, in our outer horizon. The 11th house deals with relationships, deal with people. It's a deal with, has a spiritual inclination in this house, because it's dealing with the unknown and unfamiliar, how we can connect to, you know, more farther, higher thought. The 11th house dealing with associations, business, all right, co-workers, networking. So with these energies transiting the 11th house, been a lot of transformational relationships, been a lot of influences to help y'all pay attention to the relationships that you should be valuing. Been a lot of influences that's going through power and control issues in career, maybe with dealing with certain motherfuckers at y'all job or whatnot. Been a lot of influences with y'all attracting people that y'all don't know from a hole in the wall with all these heavy energies in your 11th house, because 11th house deal with unknown familiar. So you got 11th house stellium, you got the moon in the 11th house. I'm talking about in general. If you got like a stellium 11th house, a moon in there, or a lot of, you know, a lot of heavy planets in there, you gonna manifest situations just meeting a lot of people, being dragged into unknown places by your other friends, and being always connected to things outside of your familiar surroundings. So with the new moon transiting here and all these energies transforming shit here, is a whole new clarity, whole new understanding about how you connect yourself to the collective, a whole new understanding about what role you play in the collective, or how to widen that and expand on that. Okay, whether it's your business goals, what you're doing career-wise, whole new ways of how to connect to others. And here we're dealing with super emphasizing social media, communication, business, branding. We're super emphasizing that. This is the house that gave birth to Aquarius. So you guys definitely been in a state of feeling like y'all gotta super re-strategize who you're associating with, your friends, all right? And y'all definitely been in a state of trying to gain more reality of the people in your life. That you know that they're not in your first or your third house, they're not in your personal life, and you're not super familiar with them, but you're trying to see how you could associate, link, network with them, and build. You may be seeing a potential in these people. So the new moon's helping you gather all of that up for this first new cycle here. All right, Aries Rising, and last but not least, my Pisces Risings. Okay, we got the 12th house, and this is new ways to connect your imagination. Okay, new ways to connect your imagination for my Pisces risings. So when we look at the 12th house, the 12th house deals with our subconscious, our dreams, our imagination, all right? How we deal with faith, belief, and intuition in this lifetime. How we connect to others in a collective consciousness through the subconscious, through the emotions, how we feel for others and feel for the world, feel for the collective. So with all these energies transiting your 12th house, you've been having a whole, the creativity been stimulated, things that you want to subconsciously pushing out, and maybe dealing with so many ideas in the past couple of weeks. Okay, it's also a water house dealing with the emotion and subconscious, so it may have been a shift of moods here. For any houses that you have transiting water houses, may have been dealing with shift of moods lately, all right, with all these energies with Aquarius here. But in the 12th house, the shift of moods is coming from how you're able to utilize your dreams, imagination, your creative attributes. So a lot of y'all with Aquarius and Saturn here already are trying to find ways to stabilize and communicate and associate your dreams, your creativity, your creative source. But now dealing with all these extra energies here, it may have been a lot of energies where you felt like you had to reorganize, re-strategize your space in order to be able to connect to the people that you're creatively, that's into what you're creatively into. It may have been a whole different way that you guys been transforming how you want to deal with some of your creative aspirations. May have had a whole plan and then you just changed that whole plan because it's all subconscious energy. Okay, the ways you guys been having more of a isolated approach and detached approach towards how you deal with connecting to others around this time. So with the new moon transiting here, the moon is always going to help us to connect. So right now you guys are looking in the mirror, truly connecting to see how you're going to bring out more of this creative source and funnel ways or manifest more ways to connect it to others in the physical. Aquarius in the 12th house is going to bring reality to how you deal with your imagination, but it comes with some restrictions, and some of these restrictions may be things that you think to yourselves and be saying, nah, this ain't reality, this is too creative, this ain't reality, this a fantasy, this is my imagination. It was just my imagination. So that's what type of time y'all gonna be on. Alright? Trying to see how to stabilize these things. The new moon's gonna transit here and help y'all understand what people can't play as a support system to your creativity and your dreams and aspirations during this new moon time. Y'all definitely gonna be seeing that. Y'all definitely gonna be feeling like if you haven't been utilizing your creative source, this is the time to utilize it with the new moon transit here and all these energies that have been in your 12th house. All these energies in the 12th house been trying to shout at you. If you don't bring your creativity and your imagination out more for the world to see, or if you don't bring it out more for us to be able to, all these planets in your 12th house is trying to get you to use your imagination to build something and make it real. So a lot of y'all been dealing with influences that you're like, damn, I've been sleeping on my creative gift, or literally I just only connect to this shit in my dreams and my imagination. When do I get more realistic, more real life time? And for those of y'all that working on it, y'all gotta keep the pedal on the metal. Like, that ain't make no goddamn sense. Keep your foot on the motherfucking pedal. Keep some pep in your step. Alright? You have to be able to deal with some belief and faith. And with Jupiter and all these, and Venus in this house, Venus gonna bring support. Jupiter trying to expand his home here, trying to get you to understand what you already have, the wisdom you already have. So y'all in a state of feeling real creatively stimulated. It could be frustrating. Y'all feel like y'all haven't been getting these things out into physical life, into your physical surroundings, or how you're trying to work on these things or establish these things. But this is definitely a time with the new moon here that y'all gonna have a whole new clarity on how to implement your dreams, your creative source into these things. A whole different way of feeling like, and it's also a time y'all gonna definitely feel like y'all gotta, because the 12th house deal with like the collective, so all these energies transiting in the 12th house, y'all could definitely be going through a whole evolution for real, how y'all deal with y'all relationships, but more so from understanding your emotions and how they're affected from the collective. Like, you guys are truly understanding that shit, and it's so subconscious, because y'all may have been in a state where y'all just been isolated with all these energies in the 12th house, making y'all be to y'all heads a lot, making y'all be to yourselves. And then now it's like y'all understanding when y'all wasn't around this person or consumed in this relationship or this and that, y'all realizing now that y'all have y'all realizing now that y'all been able to connect to y'all dreams and imagination more. So y'all dealing with a lot of that energy. So the new moon is helping y'all being able to grasp all of that up. Alright? And understand how you can make that more of a reality in this new reality that we all building in 2021. Alright, family? So this is the energy the new moon in Aquarius is bringing all of us, especially through the houses. This is how it's going to be affecting areas of our life. Okay, y'all want to go ahead, stay tuned and all that and all that. Like, share, subscribe and all that and all that. Check out my website to connect with the Lucky Libra. Check out the Patreon. We're on the road to 100, okay? So make sure that you go ahead and dibble dabble with that and see if that energy aligns with you. But until next time, family, peace.